Well, hello everyone and happy Monday. It is digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you back to Before the Four, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. Wherever you're watching, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, or the 48 Now live stream, thank you so much for watching and spending a bit of your Monday afternoon with me here in today's shorter version of Before the Four. Even though it is a shorter version today, we will still go through some of our top stories today. We'll talk about Election Day, which is, of course, happening tomorrow. The good side, I have a really awesome story for you all to end it with. And then, of course, the stories you're just not going to want to miss. And then finally, capping it off with none other than Facebook fun. And you all had some really, really awesome responses. So I am super excited to get to that. But with all that said, let's just jump into it. Let's start it off. And of course, starting things off in Decatur, where a victim is still in the hospital recovering in what appeared to be a road rage shooting yesterday morning. Now, Decatur police say the incident happened around 1 in the morning Sunday along 6th Avenue Southeast. When authorities arrived on scene, they say they found a motorcyclist injured with an apparent gunshot wound. The victim was sent to UAB Hospital, where he remains in critical condition. Police say they also found a second man on scene and was detained for questioning. No arrests have been made at this time, but 48's Noah Cowell, he is in Decatur today working to learn as much as he can about this entire situation. And he'll have more for you all coming up in our evening newscasts. And now another story in Huntsville, where one was arrested after a shooting in downtown Huntsville early yesterday morning as well. Police say officers responded to Jefferson Street just before 2 a.m. Sunday in regards to a shooting altercation. When officers arrived on scene, they say they found two people inside the building believed to be involved and detained them. Authorities say they don't believe anyone was shot in the altercation, but 31-year-old Keelan Lucky, that is who you see on screen, was arrested and charged with discharging a firearm into an occupied building. Lucky is currently being held at the Madison County Jail on a $5,000 bond. And now a story in case you missed it. In Muscle Shoals yesterday, where one community held a fundraiser to help raise money for a 12-year-old kid battling leukemia, not for the first time, but for the second time. 48's Daquan Lee with more details.
A 12-year-old is getting ready for his second battle with a rare form of leukemia, and he has the support of his community behind him. Today, hundreds of people gathered money as his family prepares for what could be a long rest of the year.
It's been a great turnout, and I would absolutely do it again if they needed me to.
Sunday afternoon, Infinite Artistry was the site of a community coming together for a great cause. On Friday, 48 News told you the story of Isaiah Lopez, the teenager who's back in the hospital dealing with a rare form of leukemia. He had been in remission, but a few weeks ago, doctors confirmed the cancer was back. His mother, Tiffany Lopez, says he's set to undergo aggressive chemotherapy and a bone marrow transplant, so any money raised would go towards his medical expenses.
Everybody has been so amazing, and the amount of love and support. And, you know, I had someone literally just stop by my shop yesterday and drop off a $200 donation and didn't leave a name or anything. It was just out of the kindness of their heart.
Leslie Johnson, who orchestrated everything, says she's appreciative of how much the community has showed up.
It's beautiful. You know, everybody's so quick to help if there's a tragedy somewhere else, but I feel like sometimes we forget about our community here, and we need to take care of our people, and I'm very grateful.
Tiffany knows the long mental battle her son will soon be facing again, but she hopes Sunday's turnout will go a long way to boosting his spirits.
It's going to give him a lot of strength, especially knowing how many people are praying for him and hoping that he's, you know, going to pull through this, and we got your back, and I'm going to be able to be there. This is going to be make it where I can be there to take care of him more and not have to worry about the financial aspect of things. So it's going to be a lot. It's really going to give him a lot of strength.
Reporting in Muscle Shoals, DeQuan Lee, 48 on your side.
Such an awesome story there. Wow, I can't even imagine being that age and having to go through that, not once, but a second time. But a super strong kid there. I certainly have his back. And now another story. Election Day is now just 24 hours away, and today Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are blitzing the battleground states. Both candidates working to get out the vote with a strong focus on Pennsylvania. NBC's senior national correspondent Jay Gray is in the Keystone State with the latest from Bucks County.
The race for the White House now an all-out sprint with no clear leader. In the latest and last NBC News national poll ahead of Tuesday's vote, Vice President Harris and former President Trump each getting support from 49% of registered voters.
So we got to get our country straightened out or we're not going to have a country. All right, that's all.
Both closing out their campaigns in a half dozen or so swing states that could ultimately determine who wins the White House.
I see voters standing together to defend freedom. This moment in our nation has to be about so much more than partisan politics.
Gold and amber leaves frame the Pennsylvania countryside, but make no mistake, Bucks County, like so many in this state, is purple, split between Republicans and Democrats. The signs of how close the campaign is here are everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like from my lens, like the signage at least seems pretty split. Yeah, I would say that.
Along the sidelines of a youth soccer match, parents understand the role their community could play in the political game. Some unsure if they'll know the final score when the polls close tomorrow night.
No, I won't be staying up late Tuesday night. I don't think it'll be decided Tuesday night. I think we'll have to wait.
Officials in Pennsylvania warning the count could take days here. Jay Gray, NBC News, Doylestown.
Well, thank you, Jay. And speaking of the election, security ahead of potential civil unrest has ramped up, with the National Guard on standby in several states. NBC's Stephanie Gosk with more.
This morning, with just one day to go, unprecedented new measures are underway to keep Americans safe and to protect the vote. Security will be dramatically stepped up at polling stations nationwide on Election Day, amid concerns of potential violence and voter intimidation. After 2 ballot drop boxes were deliberately set on fire, some now have fire extinguishers.
They're tested, they're true. They got the approval of all of our local firefighters.
At many county and government buildings, barricades are up. And at some polling locations, new bulletproof glass has been installed to protect workers, along with emergency panic buttons. In Washington, D.C., fencing is going up at the White House and the Vice President's residence, and many businesses are already boarding up their storefronts. The Justice Department now plans to monitor polls in 27 states to ensure compliance, but some Republican-led states like Texas are pushing back, saying federal monitors will not be allowed in. In the swing state of Michigan, officials say they're prepared to stop any violence.
We're ready, and we have partnerships with law enforcement and others to protect the people who protect democracy.
But perhaps an even bigger issue, the online spread of disinformation and lies, particularly coming from Russia, China, and Iran, intended to disrupt the election.
We came to America 6 months ago.
That includes the fake viral video showing supposed Haitian immigrants voting multiple times. Federal officials say Russian interference groups are behind the fake video.
Russian produced and specifically designed to go viral to undermine American confidence in the security and integrity of our elections.
The FBI also concerned about 2 videos falsely claiming to be from the FBI relating to election security. One stating the FBI has apprehended 3 linked groups committing ballot fraud, and a second relating to the second gentleman.
Well, thank you, and make sure to stick around for our evening newscast to hear from 48's Aria Pons, who will have what the probate judge and poll workers are doing security-wise for the election here in the Tennessee Valley. But now let's head over to the good side, where today we will be following a student-led organization in Ohio that is helping improve the lives of veterans with disabilities. Local News Live correspondent Tricia Mackey with the story.
Imagine not being able to complete a simple task like opening a can of soda or simply reading a book. That's the reality for many disabled veterans, and helping to make their lives easier is a group of students with the University of Cincinnati.
We make devices that'll help them with simple tasks. They can get destroyed very easily, but it's a quick solution to a lengthy problem.
Since its creation in 2016, Enable UC has used 3D printing to produce and deliver nearly 100 devices to people locally and actually around the world. The group's latest project includes a partnership with the Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Cincinnati.
The device we were making was like a pop tab opener, so not everyone can reach under a can and pull it up. So we gave them a little more leverage, that way they could pull it up. Or one of those lengthy grabber devices as well as a walker, it's kind of hard to carry both of those. So we made something that can clip the two together, that way they have ease of use.
The group makes the devices for veterans free of charge. This is a project Scott says is near and dear to his heart because his grandfather is also a veteran.
It gives me more of a push to go towards this, to work a little harder for this. It's a project that I care about dearly.
There's no commercial market for devices like these because each patient's needs, they're unique.
Very creative idea there. That is so awesome. And speaking of the stories you're just not going to want to miss, because that certainly was one of them, let's head into the stories you're just not going to want to miss in our evening newscast. A longtime fire chief in the Shoals retiring. Get that story from 48's Aria Pons, his lasting legacy. Another story you're just not going to want to miss, new Airbnb regulations. Get those details from 48's Sarah Grace Kennedy. And finally, the latest on Election Day. Get all those details coming up in our evening newscast before you head to the polls here in Alabama tomorrow. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss in our evening newscasts. And now it is about that time. What time is it? It is time for Facebook Fun, of course. And our 48 Facebook question of the day today: have you started listening to Christmas music? That is a you all had a mix of comments, I will have to say. A lot of no's and a lot of yeses. I think for me, I am more on the side of no. I believe Christmas season does not truly come until Turkey Day is over. Black Friday, that is when Christmas season officially starts. That's when you can start listening to Christmas music. You can start decorating, and you can start getting holly jolly for the holidays, of course. But some of you all very much disagree with that. And let's see what you all had to say. Letitia, she said, yes, the day before Halloween. Get with the times, chimichanga. That is what Letitia said. She likes to start early. Before Halloween is crazy. I don't know. I definitely could not start listening to Christmas music before Halloween. I can't understand it, but maybe after Halloween, possibly. But I still think Thanksgiving has got to come. I mean, Thanksgiving is a holiday too. You can eat turkey and you can just watch football all day. That's like the best part. I'm extremely thankful for Thanksgiving. That is for sure. But Letitia, thank you so much for commenting. James Ellis said, no, but my wife is watching a lot of Christmas movies. I definitely feel that, James. It sounds like your wife is yes, but you are no for sure. James, thank you so much for commenting. Timothy said, hold up, can't hear you over this Tom Petty. Let me turn it down. Nope. Absolutely awesome comment there. That definitely got to listen to that Tom Petty before everything on the radio becomes nothing but Christmas music. And I like Christmas music, but we'll have to say it does get old after about a month or so of consistently listening to it. Timothy, thank you so much for commenting. Wanda said, Jingle Bell Rock. I just listened to it this morning. That is a very good song, I will have to say. Wanda, thank you so much for commenting. Lisa Bennett said, yes, Merry Christmas. It's already the Christmas season for Lisa. And, you know, I feel that. I definitely don't relate, but I can 100% understand. Merry Christmas to you, Lisa. Kim McGilbrey said, no, it's too early. 100% agree with that one right there. That is for sure. And then Jamie Lee Cheney, that is, of course, my girlfriend. Love you. The day after Halloween, give me all the Christmas music. Definitely do not relate to that. I still think Black Friday is when Christmas, the day after Thanksgiving maybe, but definitely not the day after Halloween. But I hear this weekend she is decorating my apartment for Christmas. So I guess I have to get into the Christmas spirit a little bit early this year. And, you know, I have no complaints about that. But thank you all for commenting. I greatly appreciate it. That is all the time I have for Before the 4 today. But of course, if you haven't done so already, make sure you download the 48 Digital app, the 48 First Alert Weather app, and of course, the 48 Sports Zone app. Turn on those push notifications, and you will never miss a breaking story. You all enjoy the evening newscast, and as always, thanks for watching. You all have a great night.